Yep, Okay, let's try that. Can you hear me now? Sometimes OBS, it switches the microphone over to a different setting. At least I know where it is now. So can you hear me now, Tails? This would be so bad if... Yep, okay, that's really cool. Yeah, sometimes it's OBS. It just, for some reason, by itself, it's the software program. It just switches over to a different microphone setting. I don't know why. It just does it. But thanks for letting me know. That's why I actually ask at the beginning of each episode. It was quite interesting, Tales, in the... because you're a Spurs fan, aren't you? It was quite interesting that... I was a bit disappointed with the Spurs fans not realising the seriousness of the situation, because if results had gone better for other teams yesterday, in particular Newcastle, Spurs were in danger of not qualifying in Europe. And I don't know if the Spurs fans realised that, because they were like, are you watching Arsenal when they were a goal down, instead of getting behind their team. And could have been very, very interesting if Newcastle had beaten Manchester United yesterday, because it would have come down to the wire for Spurs as well on Sunday. So luckily for the Spurs fans, it didn't backfire on them. Next time, perhaps they'll focus on their own team when they go a goal down. What did you think of that? What did you make of that, Tails? Were you happy about that, or what? Yeah, I mean, I think he has every right to be. Um, it was really quite an interesting one. And it could have all gone very, very wrong for Spurs. And then the Spurs fans would have been thinking to themselves, oops, maybe we should have got behind our team instead of focusing on Arsenal. But as it happened, Man United beat Newcastle. So although Chelsea won, it doesn't matter. Spurs will finish in 6th regardless. So well done to Spurs. But maybe think about it next time. And we're going to try and push on today. We're going to try and get 4 games in today. And then that will leave the final 3 games for the last one in this series. So let's hope we can get the 4 games in. Let's push on. These are tough games. I think we have Manchester City and Arsenal to come. These games are not going to be pushovers. Brighton, I'd like to think we can beat Brighton, but who knows? I'm going to go to assistant manager now and get him to change his mind, which he usually does at this point. And we've not made the best start. And one of the things about this game is that you can tell who's going to win the game in the first 5 minutes. And it does look like Brighton have got this at the moment, unless we do something to turn this around. Because we're not in the game. And although nobody's really looking like they're causing us problems, they are passing the ball well. And we need to... yeah, of course. But you've got to look after your own team first. And of course I understand that, Tails. But when you go a goal down... and you could drop out of the European places, you've got to get behind your team. And although it didn't matter in the amount, Son missing that opportunity at the end, that I would have put my house on Son finishing that one, but he just lost his composure. It was too big a moment for him. So here he is. Here's the man, Son, who missed that opportunity. And he's not playing very well for me either. It's like, what is going on? I just like FM, all my big players, they never play Come on, Madison. Somebody's got to have a game one of these. One of these games we're going to play well. Somebody sooner or later is going to have a good game. We've been in... Our form has been pretty poor. It's been not so good. We've been doing a lot of that. Scoring goals is at a premium. I've actually switched over... I've dropped Pedro for today, and I'm playing Timo Werner as a pressing forward to see, just to see if anything can actually happen out of that. He's perfectly capable of playing as a pressing forward. I've tried all the other roles, and nothing seems to work up front. This front four that I have, given the names that they possess, they're just absolutely awful. And I don't know why it is with FM, but if I wasn't managing this team, they'd be playing really well. But because I'm managing them, they're really bad. They're big name players, and none of them are playing very well. I've dropped Kulusevski as well, and I'm trying João Neves as the attacking mid. And if we don't win this game, I'm going to go to a 4-3-3. And just try something different, because I think the game is just saying, no, you're not going to win until you change your tactic. I have this funny feeling. Brighton, who are having a fairly average season, they're not brilliant, and we should be beating them, and we're not at the moment. And this is so FM for me, so FM. And just keeping an eye on who might be causing us problems. But nobody as yet. And at the moment it's fairly dull. Brighton are the better team, clearly, even though they haven't had the ball. We just are not threatening at all. Which is normal for this save. Very normal. Scoring a goal is a big celebration because... sometimes in a whole episode we don't score at all. Given like who we have up front, it seems very, very strange. But it is what it is, and we still are in fourth, although Villa are right behind us now. Villa just won yesterday, so it's all even on points now. So we need something out of this game. I don't know what to make of this. I kind of think at times like this, you just let the game do what the game is going to do. There's nothing you can do yourself. And I am absolutely convinced that there always was a switch, but it wasn't quite so obvious. And when this switch goes, it goes. We are giving away a lot of free kicks again. Possibly because I've got my boys tackling hard in midfield. Now, he's not told to tackle harder. He is, of course, because he's a ball winner. It might be that he's giving away all the fouls. But it's really interesting, this, in that we have scored no goals. Hey, how you doing, Eric? How you doing, Piotr? Absolutely no goals at all. And I think maybe I'll try a different approach. Maybe I'll go to a diamond. See how a diamond gets on. But this is looking appalling, and it has been for a long, long time. A long time. Just doesn't look like we are threatening anybody. And I'm looking across my front line again. From here, it's not looking very pretty again. They're all playing badly again. I just don't quite understand it. And it could be that they are sitting deep. I'm going to go to a positive mentality, try and get players forward. But we're getting caught offside as well. I'm pretty good, Eric. I'm pretty good. Camera settings, very straightforward. It's just TV with the camera height all the way to the left and the camera zoom all the way to the right. Fairly straightforward. Who's got injured? Lallana is injured. Have we passed half time then? No, there was a long amount of time added on there. I'm going to tell them this is terrible. Absolutely dreadful. Look, Timo Werner again, 6.5. Neves, 6.6. These are the two players that constantly never perform. No matter who's there, they never perform. So maybe I've got to change something big time. I actually don't know what to change it into, but the game is clearly telling me, sorry, you're not going to play well until you change your tactic. So let's load up a different tactic. Let's try something. Let's try. Ooh. What's that one? No, it doesn't give you an idea of what it is. I just have to do something because this is absolutely pathetic. We'll try this one. And see how that gets on. So the back four are okay. These two guys are okay. And these two, Werner probably needs to be up there. And I've got two players who can't play in those positions. Neves and Son can switch over. Timo Werner, we'll play him as a pressing forward. And we'll play attacking mid on support. I'm going to play a... I'm actually going to push him up and play a deep line playmaker on support, and then we will put a ball winner on defend here. This is more attacking, and to be honest, when the game goes into this, you can see the familiarity is poor, and when the game goes into this, I kind of lose interest in it. It just it completely puts me off playing, and I said this last time out, that if we go on to win now, then it makes an absolute nonsense of the game, because they totally are not familiar with playing like this, and they shouldn't be able to play like this. So I mean, I don't know, if we continue playing with the tactic that we're not going to get any results, that's for sure. And in fact, the tactic that before Christmas we were almost unbeaten, we could not lose. And suddenly the game decides, nah, it's not working anymore, haha. And you're stuck with it, and so we'll try it. I have no idea why we're giving away so many free kicks. But it would, if we win now, and this is total nonsense playing in this way. If we win now, it does make a nonsense of the game. Because no team is going to be able to, at half-time, change the way it's playing completely and then go on to win. Here we are, committing way too many fouls. But now, as you can see, we are creating chances, and it's looking like we could probably win. And this is not football. You do not have to change your tactic this dramatically to get a win. Tweak it, yes, but change it into a way that they've never played before? No. It makes a nonsense of it. But looking at it, we are certainly, we've come back into this game. It wouldn't surprise me to see us win now. Critics of what I've just said will say, oh, it's because you've surprised Brighton. You've taken them by surprise. Taken ourselves by surprise, but you can see we still can't get shots on target. That switch is messing around big time. So let's get some of these idiots off the pitch. Because that's what they are. Probably all need to be sold. So we'll bring on Skip. And I don't like these yellow cards. And Son. Son's proving himself to be absolutely rubbish. I should have actually sold Son in the transfer window rather than try to hang on to him. Hey Neil, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. I think sometimes the game will also do that. Your big name, you try so hard to hold on to him, and you do hold on to him, and so the game will give him a rubbish season. It's just telling you, haha, you should have sold him, because a youth team player would have played better than Son this season. And we could have got a ton of money. And we still can't score. Both of these forwards are absolutely awful. I'm hoping when we go back to Coritiba, Pineda, we'll start playing. Oh, come on. Another very good forward who can't score. Scores like once every 8 games, and then he bags a hat-trick in those, and then he can't score for the next 8 games. Finally, Pedro Porro. And this is really interesting, isn't it? That I've put them in a shape that he can't play. And so, oh, wait, could be offside. Well, it is awarded, and suddenly we look like we're world beaters. And I'm not even sure that the tactic is set up properly. So I don't get this game sometimes. Something tried and tested and made us almost unbeatable in the first half of the season. We can't get a goal. And now something that's not even set up properly is certainly a goal up. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But we are a goal up, and that will put us 3 points. If we can hold on to it, that'll put us 3 points clear of Villa again. We need that with the games that are coming up. Manchester City, Arsenal, I think. Some very, very big games coming up. So let's get this second. Not like that. It's the story of the season. We cannot hit the target. What are we on? Is it? I couldn't see it then. How many shots on target have we had? Just 2 out of 7. But playing well down the right-hand side now, which is good. Pedro Porro has suddenly come into the game. See a lot of that. The goalkeeper very rarely drops the ball in those situations. I don't think I've ever seen the goalkeeper drop the ball in that melee. Oh dear, dear. Come on, FM. You could have put it right up in this corner. You could have made it more dramatic than that. Open goals. We miss them all. 2 shots on target. 25% is not good enough. Does that count on target? I wonder. Probably. That'll count on target. But we are winning the balls in midfield. And I do like that asymmetric system in midfield. For some reason, it does seem to work better than having 2 in line. Just to play a little asymmetric, one as a centre mid, one as a defensive mid. Seems to work better. But they are Brighton are not finished yet. And it's still only 1-0. Let's go to... Yeah, you might be right. Play for set pieces. Because nothing else is working. I'm going to go now work the ball into the box. We'll take the pass into space off. It's quite intensive. But so far so good. And like my forwards have improved, which is good news. Lo Celso. João Neves can be pulled backwards. I might leave that for the time being. We won't panic yet. Won't panic yet. Brighton, luckily, their shooting is worse than ours. It's João Pedro who is playing. He's playing as an advanced forward. He's playing the better of the 2. Timo Werner. Of course, we know about Timo Werner in FM. He's dreadful. I mean, if I was him, I'd be so upset with FM because there's no need to depict him like that. It's a bit unfair. Lamptey is causing me a few problems down this side. In fact, here's the equaliser. Oh, yeah, there it is. And that Lamptey has caused that. I knew it was going to happen. Oh, well, whatever the game decides to do is what the game decides to do. We're in that phase where it doesn't matter what I do, so we'll just let the game get on with it and we'll talk about the Premier League. And whatever this game decides to do is up to the game. It's not letting me score goals, I know that for sure. And so it'll finally let me score a goal or two one day. There's nothing I can do to influence it. So I did try. We changed the tactic. But I find that when you are successful, and we were very, very successful, a title was on the cards in the first half of the season. The game doesn't like it. And then it decides, no you're not. It's not like I didn't do anything for those results. I had to work hard for those results. And the computer doesn't care how hard you had to work. So, if whatever it is, and I suspect, given that the game started in Brighton's favour, that we might lose this game now. Unless taking Lamptey out will do the trick. FM's always liked Lamptey. It's always made him into a very, very good player. Yeah, I fancy Brighton, to be fair. But seeing as this is just a one-season rebuild, it doesn't really matter. Quite happy for the game just to do what the game wants to do. Although I do hope FM25 is going to be a bit more reasonable. And I do think they've spoilt the game. Really spoilt it. I mean, I know one thing is we're not going to score. We're not good enough to score. I don't know which players I have to buy to actually get goals, but with these front 6 or 7 players that I have, they're not good enough according to FM. Now I've got an injury. Who is that? Skip. Is he... Basuma's out on his feet. Skip is okay. Time to make those final 2 subs, I think. Absolutely awful. Starting off where we left off. Absolutely dreadful. That's all I can do, I think, in that regard. I expected more from Maddison, but did I really? Not really. It's FM. Oh, come on, FM, come on. Start playing fair. Look at that. Oh, God. And Brighton is like zipping it around like they're Brazil of the 1970s. And we can't pass the ball. We can't score. I don't know how we're 4th. Looking at this team, they should be in a relegation battle. Oh, boy. If we're not careful, we are going to lose this game. So I'm going to go back to balanced. Who is Baleba? Who is Baleba? He's not even listed there. Oh, there he is. Let's type mark him as well. Let's go a little bit more defensive. Let's focus on keeping them out rather than trying to score. Unbelievable. And it means that we're only 1 point ahead of Villa now. Coming into the worst period of games we can imagine. That's another thing about FM this year. I always find that you have Arsenal, Manchester City, Liverpool all together. No matter who you're playing, what season you're in, all those fixtures are always together. Yep, I did call it. I did call it, and we have lost. Sometimes I feel like I don't want to play this game anymore. It's so nonsensical. I don't want to see that. I used to think I was pretty good at the game, but now I think I'm rubbish. The game's persuaded me that I am no right to be playing it. Totally the better team. Couldn't score, couldn't pass though. And that's what we get. Oh, great stuff. Good evening, Andy. I think I'm going to go to key highlights. I'm fed up of this game and I don't like watching it anymore. So we're going to go to key highlights. I'm just letting the game now do what it wants to do. I'm not taking any part in it. And we'll see the season out. The game has a plan. And we'll see what the game's plan is. I will get these games done and dusted and out of the way. Notice I'm not celebrating. Still 3 weeks to go, Andy. Still 3 weeks to go. I think that one of the good things for me is I'm going to get a break from this absolutely silly game. And not have to put up with the nonsense that it's doing. Which is no reflection of anything in particular. And what I really don't understand about it is why it will let you influence the game at times, but it will not let you influence the game at any other time. That's another opportunity, and it's just not playing. It's just not allowing me at the moment. And at these times you've just got to, right, we'll go to key highlights. We'll just get the games out of the way. And then at some point it will let me come back into the competition here. Yeah, we've got to be disappointed with that. Team down the bottom of the table again. The fixtures are going to be very interesting now, though. I'm just going to get through them as fast as possible. It's another save I want to get out of the way now. I mean, look at it. It's dreadful. And this is a team. But once we set them up, they looked unbeatable. And then suddenly it's been absolutely chronic. If it hadn't been for that run here, we'd be relegation candidates. And this is not a reflection of real football by any stretch of the imagination. So we have Chelsea, Manchester City and Arsenal all together. Should I stay with... I'm going to stay with this. I've fallen foul of switching tactics before. So we're just going to stay with that. And we're going to get through this as fast as possible. Talk to me, guys, so that my mind is not on this, because I don't have any say in what's going on in this. So I need to take my mind off it and just let the game do what the game wants to do. 2 wins at least. You are having a laugh, Andy. I'll be surprised if we get another point. Be very surprised. So I do need to start balanced. But you know what this game is like. Games you're supposed to win, you don't, and games you're not supposed to win, you do. Chelsea hammered us in the cup. I've no reason to suspect we're not any better, so they should be hammering us in this game as well. Could be as good as Pedro. Pedro is rubbish. That means he's going to be absolutely terrible. Don't compare him to Pedro. You're going to... Like, I might as well sell Scarlett then as well. I think, Dennis, I'd prefer the game if it was realistic. There are many, many things wrong with this game. I loved FM24. They decided they were going to make it harder after FM22. All they've done is made it silly, to be fair. And there is a switch in there, which when you are overachieving, it flicks that switch and you become like a team that doesn't know what it's doing. And I'm at that point now. It's flicked that switch again. But the thing is, it will let you back in eventually. I do want to try and win every game. And I've had periods with Coritiba where I've done that and worked hard in game to actually achieve that. But sometimes I've been known to accuse this game of cheating. I think it does. Because it doesn't have any other way to control it. The AI is not sophisticated. The AI is not sophisticated. It's a £40 computer game. It's not sophisticated AI. They have a number of tactics which they rotate between, and that's about how much it can do. So it has to get control in different ways. I'm going to leave. Ugh. Do I want to change those over? Do I? Let's try it then. And then Kulusevski just didn't have Neves have a good game last time. I think he did, didn't he? 7. He said, I'm going to leave Neves up there. Kulusevski has been letting me down. Hi, Zhao. I mean, I don't know, Dennis. Do you play this game, this FM24? Recent good form? We are not in good form. Like, come on. This game. Some of them are unhappy. He's not very important. 6 games to go. Why are we starting to have meetings? If we lose these next 3 games, we're out of it anyway. So now is not the time to have this meeting. Right. None of those are worth taking the risk. They're always training badly. So if I criticize them again, they'll have a go at me. Best just to sell them. Okay, here we go. I think I'm going to stay in key highlights. I just want to get these games done. Because as I've said, I don't have any control over what's going on. At the moment, has he changed his mind? Yep, he has. He's changed his mind again. I'm going to give us the edge. I'm fed up of telling the forwards I've got faith in you when I don't have any faith in them at all. They are absolutely the worst bunch of forwards I've ever come across. I've had requests for Man United, and I've had a request for Newcastle. Welsh leagues, but the next one will be another season with Coritiba. We could win the Libertadores, which would be the third intercontinental trophy of the four. So they have had slightly better success in that journeyman save, but it seems to have been going the same way as all the others since the update. So we shall see. I definitely fancy Chelsea to win this one. I mean, I've got no confidence in this team at all. Absolutely no confidence in them. I would just keep an eye on the front four, and that'll tell you everything. Son has already gone down one. Werner's joined him. He's gone down one. Just tells me everything I need to know. It doesn't matter. Game to game, the front four are just awful. And it's not like they're not quality players. They are very quality players. But at least we've had one shot on target, which is good news. But back to usual. Oh, yes! It's Pedro Porro. Is the only player who's actually playing very well. And he scored in the last game as well. I was giving him that license to just go and do what he wants to do. I kind of thought it might happen. When I did the poll, I said it was going to be a draw, but I kind of thought it would, if it was going to be a win for either team, City would get it. I was more disappointed with the Spurs fans, to be honest. When they went a goal behind, they started cheering for Arsenal instead of getting behind their team. It was kind of weird that they suddenly started cheering for Arsenal. Not realising that if Newcastle had won last night, Spurs could be in danger of not getting into any European competition. And last night I was really hoping that Newcastle would beat United just to put the pressure on Spurs fans on the weekend to make them think about what they'd actually been doing. Here we go, Timo Werner, 6.5. Absolutely dreadful. One day, I'd like my strikers to play really well. If that's okay, FM. But I'll tell you what, watching Son probably hasn't slept since Tuesday night. I mean, if I was Son, I would be feeling awful. I'd be feeling awful if I was him. That was a chance that he should have just buried. And he hit it straight at the goal. Well, that was miles outside the box, ref. Look where he's standing. Is it about here? What's he to a penalty review? I'll tell you what, Callum, that goal by Diallo, whoa, there was some power in that shot. He won't hit the ball like that very often in his career, but The ball was past the goalkeeper before he actually even moved. He wasn't getting anywhere near that. It was just like it reminded me of a cricket strike. He got the timing so right. It didn't matter that he was leaning back. He got the timing absolutely right. And his body shape was not right for it, because that should have gone way over the bar, but it's because the timing that it hit his foot was absolutely spot on. And that's an art in itself. Romero, I did think about changing one of the centre-backs, didn't I? And the two midfielders. Well, one of these, Maddison again, and Werner. They can't play football. They really don't know how to play football. I'm going to bring him on as and I'm going to play a shadow striker behind him, just mix it up a little bit. Son is tired. Neves and Bentancur are just awful. So we'll bring Lo Celso in here. No, we won't. We'll bring Skip in there. And Son needs to come off. Kulusevski, Brennan Johnson. I don't like Kulusevski since I've been playing this Spurs save. I actually was hoping that Newcastle would beat United just to teach the Spurs fans a lesson, because that would have made it very interesting for them on Sunday. They could have had no European football at all. We've got two tired players now. 3. So what I'll do, just come off some of these things. We're not counter-pressing. We just don't need to distribute quickly. We'll just come off that a little bit. We don't want that on anymore. Pass it around now. And one more sub. It's probably João Neves. Maddison should be okay out there. So we'll bring on Lo Celso. Actually, no. Let's try Kulusevski as the shadow striker. Let's try Kulusevski. Is it going to be another draw? Let's do something here. Too late. Yeah, it's going to be another draw. In fact, we could still lose this, as we got ourselves into a mess with Brighton as well. We could still lose this. Yeah, and it was a very good strike, Callum. His body shape was wrong, and it should have flown over the crossbar, but he got the timing absolutely right. Timing was absolutely brilliant. So where are we now in terms of the league? Still in 4th, just about. But it doesn't matter. We are just letting it run the way it wants to. I have to tell them again. If we look at the numbers, we should have won that. It's the same story all the time. Dominating teams and then can't score goals. 3 draws. This is a defeat, Man City. Of course it is. Of course it is. And I haven't had an injury for a couple of weeks, so who's going to get injured? I had a bad one 2 weeks ago, just before we came on air when I was advancing forward. SARS got broken his back, apparently. So he's going to be out. I don't know how we are staying in 4th. I have no idea how we are doing that. I think Villa have to overtake us. They're going to play now, aren't they, Villa? They've had like 3 weeks, 3 games to overtake us, and they haven't taken advantage. And the game does this. It just keeps you there when you're having these bad runs. It's been the story of FM since the update, Andy. It's been my story of FM. Aston Villa drew. See how the game plays this out? They've had 4 chances now to jump above. It just keeps it tight till the end of the season. That's all it's doing. So I'm going to let it do what it needs to do. Early in the season, it seems to give you a chance to alter things. Late in the season, it's just doing what it wants to do. I just hope it hasn't messed Coritiba up. Well, 6 games to go. Do I need to... Well, we'll tell him he can go. If you want to... Yep, let's let you go then. I'm not really impressed with how you've played, so let's let you go. And like, I'm not impressed with how any of them have played. Son, absolutely rubbish. For a player of his name, rubbish. Kulusevski, if I was staying, I'd sell them all. There's no point in keeping them. And 18 million for Pedro, waste of money. João Neves, 58 million. Absolute waste of money. This could be a heavy defeat, I think. Oh, yeah, I was expecting an injury. It's Timo Werner. Good. I don't like him. But it does mean Brian Gill will have to... Oh no, it means I have to play Pedro. And Scarlett will have to come onto the bench. That's a bit of bad news. I thought it didn't matter, but of course I have to play Pedro now. What I'd like to do is run some experiments. I just don't seem to have the will to do it at the moment. I want to run some experiments where you're not playing the game and when you are playing games. Because I do believe there's something seriously wrong with it. Let's try what the assistant says. Well, you're doing well there, Callum. You're doing extremely well. I mean, look at these 3 across here. I still feel like Maddison should be playing as a playmaker in here, but he just is absolutely chronically bad. He did play better when we made him an advanced playmaker out there. It did change that, so that's why we're going with that. But considering the players and the number of goals that we score, And the number of chances we create, the fact we can't get any shots on target, is it's mystifying. And we won't fall into this trap this time. We'll ask him again. And go and cause a surprise. And we'll lie to them again. I have faith in you. I have absolutely no faith in you guys. That's what I should be saying. You're so bad at the moment. I don't even feel like I want to watch the game. But I'm the manager and I'm forced to sit on the touchline. That's what I should be saying to them. Playing against Manchester City, beating Manchester City is all about finding who is playing well with them and closing them down. And I do remember when we played them last, it was Bernardo Silva and De Bruyne. So let's see what he's... not that one. Let's see what he's got for Bernardo Silva and De Bruyne. I'm going to type Mark De Bruyne as well. In fact, which side is De Bruyne? He's on the left-hand side, so my right hand, he can actually mark De Bruyne. But I think it's also important that he doesn't close him down so much. But I have no control over that. If you can stop those, you just don't know. This is why it's really important against City. You keep an eye on the player stats so that you can find out, because they got so many. It could be any of them causes you a problem. De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva, but were the last was Bernardo Silva. And a comedy of errors, of course, can cost you a goal. Oh dear. One error. Two errors. Oh boy. Absolutely dreadful. I mean, we got a very good 0-0 draw when the game was working. If you remember, we got a very good 0-0 draw against City. Just worked so hard changing things in game. And of course, it was we're never going to get result against City twice. It looks just so bad. I just like at times like this, I just want to hit instant result. Just get it out of the way. I'm going to push the line up. Go a little bit narrower. Try and keep possession. See, Bernardo, I've told someone to type mark him. There's nobody within 20 yards of him. And we're going to go positive. We're going to take the game to them now. Haaland's assist wasn't even a key pass because he didn't do anything. It just bumped off him. We just gave it away, basically. Come on, do your worst. Have we scored? No, it's offside, I think. Is he checking offside? Yeah. I think it was offside, yeah. Oh, just that. Come on. I've heard that they're actually introducing a new form of VAR into the Premier League next season, which will probably screw things up even more than it is this season. It's going to be automatic VAR, so VAR is going to make the decision itself, I think. I don't know how that's going to work. I can't be very optimistic about it. But what do you guys think about the new VAR that's coming in next season? Any thoughts? I think they should scrap it completely. I was watching some old games. Keep the hackers busy. I was. Oh, look at that! Wait, come on, boys. Have you forgotten how to play football? I was watching some old games when there was no VAR. And yeah, sure, the referee gets it wrong sometimes. But it all evens out over the course of a season. Sometimes it works in your favour and sometimes it works against you. But I'm looking at modern day linesmen and I keep an eye on the decisions that they make in the modern game. They don't get many wrong. The modern day linesmen are very, very good. And they do not get many of those wrong. And I don't know why you just do away with VAR. It's much more exciting just when there is no VAR. Mistakes get made, yep, but hey-ho. It all evens up over the course of a season. VAR, like one of the stoppages in one of the games was about 7 minutes long. I mean, come on. Just to check whether somebody was offside. If it's that close, give it to him. If it's that close, then just give it to him. So where are we now? We're going to be in 5th now, aren't we, for sure? Oh, we got now. Oh, I've got both strikers injured now. That's really interesting, isn't it? Both my strikers are injured. He doesn't work out there, does he? I know. I'm going to put a full back out there just for giggles. Because I'm tired of it. No, we're still going to stay above Villa. This game is crazy. This is like the 5th game they've had that they could go above us. Well, we kept him quiet again. Just by keeping De Bruyne quiet and Bernardo Silva. But look at all this. All this rubbish down the bottom here. 6.4 Kulusevski again. What have I got to do to have a forward play well? 6.5 Madison, 6.5 Kulusevski. It's always the forwards. I can't get forwards who can play well. Right, we're going to go into this, into a 4-3-3 now. So we'll put Bissouma down here. We'll try this for a laugh. And we'll move Son out here. And we'll bring on... Who shall I bring on? Scarlett. Bissouma is rubbish. I was all for it at first, but people officiating the game, plus in-time wasting. I absolutely think it needs to be scrapped. Absolutely agree with you. I'll be much happier without it. And sure, mistakes get made. But I'm looking at these modern day... Well, they were not linesmen anymore. They're assistant referees. They don't make very many mistakes. They make very, very few mistakes. You could see that happening because they waited for Man City to put the press on. So I knew something dodgy was going on there. They actually didn't take the goal kick until City had actually put the press on. So I knew something dodgy was happening. What? Penalty for what? Oh, I give up. I absolutely give up. What was that for? The goalkeeper caught the ball, that was it. End of highlight. Come on, let's get on with it. That was just... I sometimes I don't believe what I see, Andy. There was a little push. How did you see that, Potato? $5-0 possibly by the end. Oh, you saw the commentary at the bottom. De Bruyne, I can't... Gvardiol. I can't do much more. Let's close him down. I actually don't have many subs left that I can use either. See, again, 6.3 for Son. I think he's had one good game in the entire season. Yeah, give us a consolation. But this is nonsense. And 6.4 for Maddison. I think he hasn't had many better games than Son. It's total nonsense. If I was managing Manchester City, Haaland would not be able to score, or he'd probably get injured. Well, going positive has helped, but not much. Right, I've got to get Son off the pitch. He's rubbish. I might as well drop him. Drop him from an aeroplane. Look at them. 6.5, 6.5, 6.3. Got to get Son off, I'm afraid. That's it. Is that a sub? Yeah. That's it. That's all my subs. I don't believe FM. I don't believe this is going to be the final result. Where did you wake up from? Deep sleep that you were in? Skip and Neves suddenly have woken up. But only because he scored that goal. I don't believe this. Do I stay positive or do I try and close the game down now? I might as well stay positive. We're playing better. Our defence is awful looking at there. Passing is terrible. Oh yeah, I knew it wasn't gonna last. Oh boy, come on, get it over with. It's supposed to be key highlights now. Let's get it over with. Oh, disallowed. That is the first disallowed goal the opposition have had in a long, long time. And I think you pointed out, Andy, that we haven't had a penalty since the save began. I don't think we have. And that could be because we're not getting the ball into the box enough. But come on, we should at least get a few penalties. We get lots against us. Right, I'm going to let the assistant decide what's going on here now. Still going to type mark De Bruyne. And Gvardiol. I'm going to close him down, not ignore him. And Bernardo Silva does need type marking as well. Let's drop them a bit of encouragement. There's no way we deserve to be in this game, but this is so FM. Time to defend. Let's close it down slowly. No, not on attack, on support. And then... don't want to be playing it out of defence now. We'll go narrow. In fact, we'll go narrow all the way. Dribble less. Be more disciplined. I'm not even sure about this anymore, whether this actually does help when you try to close the game down. It used to work a treat, but I'm not even sure about that anymore. Did we? Yeah, so we don't need to do that anymore. Just slow everything down now. Doku. Need to mark Doku, do we? That's a good point. That is a good point. And I think we should close John Stones down as well. Stop him coming into that middle area. Open goal. But Sessignon. Come on, boys. Come on. Eight minutes of added on time. Where did that come from? Time to go defensive. Let's just hold on to what we've got now. Go on, clock. You're nearly there. It does work still, that closing the game down. I just don't trust the game, I suppose, but it does work if you close the game down that way. Look at this, 6.3, 6.3, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5. I don't think so, Shower. I used to think I was pretty good at the game, but now I don't think so. So it's all about this fourth spot, isn't it? It's us or Villa. And we've still got 2 awful games to go. 5 to 7 weeks. That means I've got no forwards at all now, FM. Thank you very much. Send him to a specialist. Spend the money. So what am I going to do up front? I'm going to have to play Son up front. We'll go back to what we were doing before. I can play him as an advanced forward, I suppose. I'll play him as a deep line forward on attack to get him in the box as well as looking to... I don't have a left winger. Timo Werner was the other left winger. Brennan Johnson isn't good enough as the left winger. This is terrible. Kulusevski, can he play as the left winger? And then maybe... Baby Lo Celso could come in here then. I could play him on attack, couldn't I? So that he... And then play Son in a support role. And we'll have him going forward past Son as well. I don't know. It doesn't seem... I mean, how many draws have we had now? I think the last 5 games have been draws, have they? No, the last 4. Who's next? Arsenal. And then that is the last of these horrid games. But FM is doing what FM does. When you shouldn't be getting results, it's giving you draws just to keep you in it. Yeah, having been 2-0 down, Maddison as a DLP. I'm willing to try anything because he's certainly not playing well up there. Can he play in that role? DLP here. Yeah, we could try that. Could definitely try it. Let's set this up then. Let's go to a 4-3-3. And let's bring Maddison down here and play him as a DLP. I'm willing to listen to anything at this point in time. I don't want him actually shooting less often, do I? Can he tackle that boy? Yeah, he can. Van der Ven. So let's try this one. Centre mid on attack. Why not? I like this centre mid role, but I'm willing to go with what you say. We'll put him... he has to be on a support role, otherwise he's just going to be in the way with Kulusevski. So I've kind of got like no attacking role in here. So I kind of want to keep this as a centre mid, just getting into the box through here. I think I'm going to put my wing back on attack here. Stay positive. So that I've got players coming into this area. He's not going to be an advanced playmaker now. I want a winger out there. It's too many, also too many players on attack. Can Bissouma play right wing? I don't think so. Nah. I think probably Bissouma is better than Lo Celso. Can Lo Celso play right wing? No. I don't know. Winger on... I need to have Porro playing this role. He's the only one who's playing any good. So having Johnson on attack doesn't make any sense. But then I might have to put him on attack and put him back on a support duty. So I've got two attacking players on the left. I've got a good attacking option coming in here. We'll try it that way. Yeah, we'll go along with that. He doesn't want to cut inside with the ball. So what if I switch those over then? That probably works a little better. Yeah, he's happier doing that role. Fingers crossed. I mean, all of them have been absolutely awful. To be fair, all of them have been absolutely awful. So if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's not meant to work. So, in all fairness, it won't be your fault. But it sometimes gets to the point where I'll listen to anybody. If anybody's got some suggestions, then I've just got to that point. Well, we definitely need to get stuck in. We're playing better when we are passing it shorter. I don't know about playing out of defence. I don't think so. We're making mistakes, and I'm going to play fairly narrow. We're not going to be more expressive. It's probably what is holding them back is that instruction. And I'm going to push up higher. Put the trigger press. Just leave it like that. Then put the trigger presser higher. Arsenal 6th. Why are they playing so badly? Everybody's going to be watching Maddison now, AD. All eyes on Maddison. I don't think he's had... I mean, it can't be any worse because I don't think he's had a more than a 6.5 in the last couple of months. I think he had one game where he scored a couple of goals and got over 7. But apart from that, so I'm trying him in midfield. Why not? We're still this 2 points above Villa, but this could be where Villa go above us to make it really exciting. FM's going to make it really exciting, and Villa will go a point ahead as we go into the easier run-in that we have. Bentancur and Neves. He wants to play Bentancur, but I'm going to go with my assistant in the chat. And he wants to play Maddison. This is just bonkers. As the left winger. I can see why. Because we don't have any left wingers left anymore. Or any strikers. So I can see what... No, we don't want to do another team meeting, do we? He's always unhappy. Why are we having all these team meetings? There's still 4 games to go. Anything could happen. And probably will. Yes, the Arsenal-Tottenham game coming up. This is the big one, isn't it? This is the big one now. I'm just wondering about whether or not I should be counter-pressing against Arsenal. We're going to come off the counter-press. I think that they'll just probably be passing it around us. Neves should play at least 45 minutes. I mean, in all fairness, Maddison has been like a twit and keeps getting selected. And Neves doesn't, but I have to try this experiment now. If Maddison doesn't perform very well, then Neves is going to get his chance. I don't have any problem with those instructions. When your assistant does this one, he does it for a reason. It's always worth trying and then keeping an eye on the game. I'm going to go back to keep an eye on this game because I have a funny feeling it might let me back into the game at some point. So it's always like worth keeping an eye on whether that is working. He often does that for a reason. Are they praising us? Why would they be praising us? I don't get it. 4 poor games on the trot, they would not be praising us. I don't get it. Suppose they would be praising how on earth have they got themselves in 4th. They might be saying that. They are going to pass the ball. And so that's why I come off the counter press a little bit. I also want to make sure that these boys are not, closing down too much. It's all Arsenal, so the signs are Arsenal are going to win, because you can usually tell within the first 5 or 10 minutes how the game is going to pan out. But this is the 3rd tactic we've used in the last 4 games, so we're not going to be winning if we're changing the tactic all the time. But actually cramming the midfield might be a good idea against Arsenal. Yeah, there you go. They're passing it around us quite easy. Offside, son. Offside. What have I got him playing as an advance forward? He's supposed to be a 4-star player. The worst 4-star player I've ever seen in the game. Who's actually... He's already dropped one. We've only been playing 10 minutes. Son is on the way down already. And it's always the forwards. Always. What could he have possibly done wrong up to this point? He's on the way down already. Keeping an eye on these. Right, okay. Where is Martinelli playing? Yeah, Porro is going missing, isn't he? So let's have him tight marking Martinelli. He's going missing, and we'll put him on an attack role. Johnson can go on a support duty, and Udogie can go as an attacker. Porro needs to do a marking job on Martinelli. I forgot how good Martinelli plays against any of the teams I have. Oh, you can't be kidding me. You're not going to injure my other left winger, are you? For sure. He has. He's got injured. I don't have a left winger now. What am I supposed to do? Right, let's get him off then. In case he gets injured even more. What am I supposed to do here? I'm going to take Son, put Son there. And Scarlett will have to come on. Is he an advance forward? He's nothing. He's a nothing. Unbelievable. Son is playing so bad. Like, give me a break, FM. Come on, give me a win. We haven't won for 5 games, FM. Come on. I mean, I don't know about you, in terms of what it looks like. I think it just looks like they've when they've done the update, they've messed something up big time. Is this going to be another draw? Is it going to be another draw? What is FC at 24? I mean, this is the only game I've ever played. So I don't know what is FC 24. Is that the No, they don't call that. What is FC 24? Oh, I thought we were going to get a penalty then. That would have been our first penalty. Oh, FIFA. No, I don't have the dexterity to do all that stuff. The only game I've ever played, apart from Tetris once when I was younger, and Space Invaders, is this one. But this one used to be a brain game. Who was that? Kulusevski's woken up from his slumbers. Son is on 6.5. But at least Kulusevski's got one. We might be committing to a lot of fouls, but we're not picking up yellow cards, so maybe that's not a good idea. About time, Andy. About time. How many of you guys in the chat actually play FIFA as well, then? How many of you play FIFA? I used to watch Mark Goldbridge playing FIFA. And, I don't know if the game was poor or whether he was just a bad player. But he used to get more upset with that game than I get upset with this one, if that's possible. And I do remember him shouting and cursing and blaming the game and saying the game was absolutely all over the place, which it did seem to be, looking at the results that were going on there. It looked to me like the game was all over the place. So he probably wasn't far wrong. But I remember him used to get more upset with the game than I do with this one. With this one, you've got to curb your temper sometimes. Is that the second? Oh, it's Son! Son has finally scored. And the games that you should not be winning, what does FM do? The games you should be winning, it's an absolute struggle. Your son plays it. In terms of the career mode in FIFA, is it what I've heard and it's really bad? Or is that just... and it's not just Goldbridge, but I heard a lot of people say that the career mode is really bad. They're not improving the game, Potato. That's interesting. I mean, there's going to be a big jump in this game when 25 comes out. And I like... part of me wants it to be the greatest thing that's ever come out. All the issues fixed. It's a much better, nicer match engine. that makes sense. But there's another part of me that thinks, oh my God, a big change like that, is it going to work? This is probably the biggest upgrade that they've ever had, FM. So we shall see what happens with that one. We're not far off it now. Just 3 months and people will be starting to talk about it. Rumours will be flying around. Two shots, one on target, 2 goals. How does that work? We kept him quiet. Porro did a very good job on him. And just, again, I mean, that pass, what was that? Most of the times, the one with the controller that will blame the game. I mean, I used to like watch Goldbridge doing it, and I just I didn't realize anybody could be worse than me in terms of losing their temper with the game. But my goodness me, he used to lose his temper. Ah, boy. Well, it's been a nothing game, actually. Arsenal have been the better team. We've scored 2 decent goals, so I'm not sure why only one of them was on target, but hey-ho. Look at Arsenal's... Let's avoid injuries now. Maddison, he's on a 6.7, but look at that for a pass. I mean, you know when FM has got it in for you is when these things happen, those passes. We haven't seen Arsenal make a bad pass yet, but when we get the ball, we're making these horrid passes. But when you're playing well, when the game is saying you're playing well now, you don't see those mistakes. It's not a good representation. Which is why we can all hope that FM25 will actually look like a football game. I mean, really, you shouldn't, in my opinion, you shouldn't worry about the graphics. 2D is better to watch the game in. And really, should you be playing it at all in FM24, just like doing instant result? Because it's not a reflection of what's going on the pitch. And if we actually were to analyse the stats, you'd see that has not happened on the pitch, what you've seen. Oh, suddenly Son has gone up to a 6.9. He scored a goal, but he's only a 6.9. Arsenal are dominating this. Got to work out where their threat is coming from. Well done. They made a good decision to get Odegaard type marked. But again, Another pass that's gone nowhere. So the game is saying you're not playing very well at the moment. And I know we're not playing very well at the moment. You don't have to highlight it in that ridiculous way. Go on, make it 3-1. Come on, somebody. Oh, God. What was that? Did it get a deflection? Oh, Kulusevski. Just, even my goalkeeper's not playing very well at the moment. Everybody. Maddison, did it work? I'm going to bring on Neves. Why is Kulusevski still there? Oh, because Johnson has come off already, hasn't he? Because he got injured. Can Son play over this side? He'll have to. But probably better to play him. I'm going to put him on support. We're going to start thinking about closing it down. Scarlett 6.6. I don't have another striker. You've injured them all, so Scarlett's going to have to play. Come on, Son, do something. Again, another pass that's gone astray. I know he just keeps going down and down. He scored a goal, and he just keeps going down. It's like he's not. I don't know what the game is trying to tell me. He's miles offside, surely. Like I should have sold him. I mean, it's clear that there's going to be a big player who wants to leave. If you try to hold on to him, he'll have a bad season. If you sell him, you can get... But a lot of the time, you don't want these big players to leave. And so the game plays a mind game with you. And you should just sell him. Soon as you see he wants to leave, or clubs are coming in for... He didn't actually say he wanted to leave, but just sell him. You'll have less hassle, because the game is just going to take him out of the game. That's what it's going to do. If you try to hold on to your big players. And you don't have the power to control that. It's totally out of your control, that. Right. These two. I can't substitute Son, unfortunately. Because I don't have anybody else. I can bring Sessegnon. No, I can't play Sessegnon there. I could play Porro up there, I guess. Bring... there's too many boys on yellow cards. Oh boy, what else can I do? I'm gonna have to change Benton core. We'll bring on Skip. So I don't know. Where are we in terms of the table? Still in fourth. Which leads me to think that this Arsenal have still got something left, so I might have to start thinking about closing the game down now. Let's go narrow. Dribble less, be more disciplined. Career mode with Stockport. Oh, that's interesting. Let's drop some encouragement. That's probably not a good idea because they'll all get complacent now. Nice tackle. Hey Ariel, how you doing? It's a goal line technology. I can't see anything from that. How many yellow cards did we have? 7. I think we're going to get fined as well for all those yellow cards, aren't we? Well done, boys. Well done. That's exactly what you should be doing. Taking the ball off them. And then just playing it around nice and slow. Waste time. Oh, come on, referee. There's nobody here. That needs, the lines needs pushing up. Absolutely no one in this area. And we do have players who should be in that area. And now we need to finish off. Probably not. Let's just up the tempo. We don't need to counter-attack anymore. I'm going to up the press again. Oh dear. Hopefully we can see it through. Still quite new to FM, Callum. Welcome to... I don't know, welcome to... disturbing times. But you will win trophies, and that's... I guess when I win a trophy, and we've won quite a few in FM24, you forget all the nonsense that's gone on before it. But there's going to be no trophy here. Yeah, welcome to the pain. Seven minutes again. Oh, gosh. Good save. Why is there all this time? Pedro Porro this time's playing really badly, but then he's not a winger. I just don't have any wingers left or strikers. They're all getting injured. I might have to play Sessignon in the next game as a winger. Come on, clock. Come on. Keep going. Keep going. We're going to have one last chance. So this is another draw. Let's go defensive now. It's full time. We have to, like, I don't get it. I don't get this game at all. Games we should be winning, we can't win, and games we should be losing, we're winning. But now we have opened up a big gap against Villa. They do have a game in hand, but the 3 games that we have left are pretty good games. What? Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth. Nottingham Forest are here in 13th. Crystal Palace 17th. Bournemouth 9th. Bournemouth is the hardest game on paper. But those now, having played, like, got 2 draws and a win against Chelsea, Man City and Arsenal, those games become suddenly really hard now. So we will play those games on Sunday and bring this save to a close finally. Will we make it into the top 4, or does the game have other plans? These games should be a walk in the park, and I might have to think about how to play those games. Do I go attacking? Just suddenly go very attacking for these games? Top 4 easy. Yeah. It's not going to be top 3 because we're just too far behind City. Top 4, if it depends on Villa. Let's move forward to Villa's next game. Yeah, let's go forward to Villa's next game because they'll play on Sunday or Monday, I think. And if they draw or lose, then we'll be 4 or 5 points clear. Started playing 5 years ago. The first club I ever managed was Celtic. 5 years ago is not relatively new. Although, yeah, it is, I suppose. I mean, I've been playing 14 years now and I still don't understand it. Where's Villa? They lost to Brentford, did they? That is an interesting result because now it leaves us 5 points clear. And also a much better goal difference. So that is a very good result for us. City won, so that's gone. So top 4, which was our goal, is looking more likely. I just worry about games like this. But we can't afford to lose one of them. We just don't want to lose one of them. Okay, guys, I'll be back on Sunday. And we'll finish this up. Top 4, that was a good result of Villa's. So hopefully we are going to get the top 4. I don't know how we got those points against City and Chelsea. I have no idea. But hopefully top 4 and we'll achieve the goal of the save. Luckily, I don't have to do another season with all those poor players. I'd sell most of them if I was going on. Get rid of them. Thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of your night. And thanks for coming. Thanks for supporting the channel. We just got to 7,000 subs yesterday. I don't know how. I really have no idea how. And thanks to all the channel members. You guys are the heart and soul of the channel. Thank you, Andy. Let's hope we can keep growing. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Have a great weekend, and we'll know who are going to be how the Premier League is going to work out by the time we come back on Sunday. See you soon. Have a good night. Take care. Be safe. And we'll see you soon.